We all heard about the math genius Srinivasa Ramanujan. We also know that it is a sanitized version of his story. What I want to share with you today are some lesser known incidents that were the most impactful in his life. I shall also give an account of his troubles during his time in the UK and how things have not changed much and may have actually become worse for practicing Sanatanis like himself in this day and age. When he got the chance to go to Britain and work at Cambridge, Ramanujan struggled with adapting to things that went against his beliefs, such as oceanic travel. His mother asked him to stay back in India as scholars were forbidden from leaving the continent to prevent brain drain. Yes, the concept existed for a really long time as the civilization is that old. The logic is, this country had worked so hard to provide for their intellectual nurture, and so the scholars shouldn't destitute their own country of this knowledge. However, his wife Janaki thought he could be something great in England, as the resources to showcase his genius are lacking in India at that time. The irony is, nothing has changed since 1910s. Indian society has been a failure to provide resources and infrastructure needed to explore the scientific breadth and depth. We all know how the indigenous scientific infrastructure was destroyed during a millennia of invasions in India. But it is high time we develop systems to nurture such intuitive genius in India yet again. When he reached UK, Ramanujan faced heavy criticism and racism for trying to be himself. When he tried to perform his daily sandhya on his way to UK, he was teased and beaten up by a group of men on the ship deck. He gave up his shikha and traditional way of dressing once he started to live in the UK to avoid getting ridiculed. Has this really changed? In fact, we don't see this freedom of thought in India to begin with, leave alone other countries. Ramanujan believed that his knowledge flows through his goddess, but this has caused him a lot of trouble. He expressed this to a close friend during his Cambridge days, and the friend advised him not to share it with anyone as they may discredit his work. He expressed this to John Littlewood, a renowned mathematician and a colleague, and he laughed it out and didn't even try to be polite about it. One day, Littlewood observed that Ramanujan was performing his prayers to the sun and his Devi out in the open at sunrise. Littlewood replied, "So this idol speaks to you in math? That's rather foolish." And then he went on, "I am a God-fearing man myself, but this seems outlandish for me as well." Ramanujan said, "Bad things may come upon you, so you are God-fearing. That is not madness, but all things I know, like my math, have come to me from my goddess. Is that madness? How are they different?" he asked. Isn't this still relevant? Hell yes. My belief is madness and heresy according to some, but theirs is the truth. I call this mental racism, to be very honest. Ramanujan only propounded math theorems but no proofs, as the knowledge came to him raw and not with some proofs to corroborate them. So many Cambridge teachers dismissed him as a charlatan. No one believed in him, and his own mentor and colleague, who invited him to Cambridge, G.H. Hardy, was very hard on him to produce proofs for his theorems. Eventually, he broke and stopped producing new theorems and only focused on proving the already written down ones. But the point we are missing here is, many humans can be this capable, and we have no means to nurture that aspect of human caliber even to this day. We expect humans to be logically correct and good at critical thinking, and they are all fundamentally Western scientific thought. But there existed a vibrant scientific ecosystem in India for millennia, and the Sanathan scientific thought consisted of nurturing the intuitive part of the human mechanism also, which is totally ignored and ridiculed even in this day and age. Ramanujan developed tuberculosis during his stay in the UK, and one day he decided to end his life due to self-doubt, as he was being called a charlatan by everyone he admired to be accomplished mathematicians. And also due to the First World War, during that time he couldn't really leave back to India. A passerby saved him from jumping in front of a train in London. So to redeem himself, G.H. Hardy helped Ramanujan to prove one of his signature theorems in mathematics, the theory of partitions. This is one of the theorems that contributed to Ramanujan getting elected as the Fellow of Royal Society and subsequently a Fellow of Cambridge's Trinity College, which are great honors. To explain in common tongue, partitions are the means in which you can arrive at a particular number when they are added up. For example, P of 4 is equal to 5. In the sense, we can arrive at the number 4 by adding up integers in 5 ways. If the number is increased to 100, that is P of 100 is some 200,000 odd number of ways that you can arrive at 100. Ramanujan perceived a formula that can plug in any number and it throws out the exact number of ways it can be added. Ramanujan, if he would have stayed back in India and published the same work, versus when he got the stamp of a royal fellowship, the quality of the man is the same, but the way he is honored is very different. Now you see why many Indians are passionate to study at the Western universities for recognition, because the world is still mentally colonized, and until a Western university gives its stamp, they are not much of worth apparently even now. In 1976, a lost notebook was discovered containing groundbreaking new formulae from the last year of Ramanujan's life. A century later, these formulae are being used to understand the behavior of black holes. Not just one lost notebook of a forgotten genius, but we have ignored a whole civilization and its humongous scientific contributions to humanity. I plan to uncover the works of these scientific giants of our land in the coming days, and until then, hopefully you have a cheerful time.